Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It is November 6th, 2025. I have some cards out here. I started to read and then my alarm went off because I was up all night listening to some very whiny, upset little boys in a man suit psychically bitching and moaning about this magistrate in my head all night long. How they want to suffocate her and have a walk-in. How they want to KID nap her and then, harvest her and all of this. How they want to get with her and then, make her comfortable and then flip and copycat her. They want command of her position as Rainbow Covenant holder, dignitary, planetary guide, teacher of love, teacher of ethics and morality. You got some folks out here that really, really despise the mother. They despise God for giving her the Rainbow Covenant and resurrecting her and lifting her into these appointments. They're very angry and they want to get all of their little devil friends here to turn on her and God and to destroy this covenant, or to get somebody to step into the flesh suit, strangle her, and then get somebody to step in, walk in, and then pretend that they are her. So this is what, all freaking night, man. It's ridiculous. So I was asking about this magistrate and what's going on with these there's a posse of freaking religious bros out there that apparently took her life in a previous cycle. Because why what was their answer when they were asked why you took her life? She wasn't religious. She didn't see God in them, and so they murdered her and stuck her in hell with their magic. And then they spent centuries, cycles of birth and death, layering blame and shame and karma and sin debt onto her and doing ferocious things, wearing a mask on her energy, her harvested energy, trying to set her up and frame her as a terrorist. God recognized her, resurrected her, led her into an ascension, gave her a Rainbow Covenant, appointed her dignitary and planetary guardian. Teacher of love is what she is. She's a high priestess, empress, queen of cups. And you've got a bunch of masculines out here who wanted to be lovers of each other. They love mud pie, but they want the wealth of this mother, and they want to command the religious aspect. They want to command the justice. They want to command all of that. Here's the thing. They claim to be made in the image of God. They claim to be God's elect, right? Which they're not. They simply murdered the one who was and then took that position. My thing is, if they're so freaking godly, where's the evidence? Where's the equality? Where's the honor, the ethics, the morality? Where is your guidance in the world? What have you done? Why are there still 800,000 children disappearing from one country every year? And why are there graveyards in the backs of your churches? God made the Rainbow Covenant with the mother, and these jealous, envious lunatics did not want to follow her advice, so they murdered her, and they have stomped on her head in every single aspect that she has ever born in since then. It's a disgrace. And so when they talk about demons being unleashed in the world, no, that's God's wrath. And they're still keeping divine feminines up all night long, wondering how they're going to get that contract again because they've been freed, emancipated. They've lost contact with and contract with their essence, their energy, their gifts, their mind, their knowledge, their ability to move time. And they're desperate to get it back, because last night, the vision I had, there was dollar signs all over the feminine. And they were arguing about how, at one point, this person got fat and they got high blood pressure. And if they hadn't have taken this medicine, their body would have failed and they would have died because of the magic they were doing. So they were doing magic to murder somebody. And because they use the medicine that they own to save their life, they own that life. Technically, they're dead, even though they didn't die. They're whacked, man. Okay, so anyway, we got in the central energy, we've got King of Cups. I was asking about the magistrate and what she's going to do with all of these cornholios that will not leave her be. They want to go out there and be brazen and have sex with each other and prostitute the feminine so that they can tap that energy and work their little forbidden magic on the mental body of the people so that they can continue acting like they're God's holy people. Cast the illusion, which is a complete fallacy. So we've got the King of Cups. So we got the love of divine masculine. He's challenged by the chariot here. In the subconscious, he's thinking about the Queen of Cups. So divine masculine, King of Cups, the love of divine masculine, wants to take the loving divine feminine, get in that chariot and boom, get out of Dodge, right? In the recent past, we've got a 10 of Wands. So you were heavily, heavily burdened. It is the completion of that burden. This may be the completion of that burden. And what you got going on here, what you have accomplished is a 9 of Cups. You've accomplished that burden. So in the near future, what we got here is we got the devil, codependent and freaking toxic. They've lost their 9 of Cups from this Queen of Cups. They're so mad because they're dependent on her charity. They're dependent on her charity. It's time for her to heal, man. She's in a 9 of Wands energy. It's time for her to heal. And these guys are upset because they don't like what they're being offered. They have brutalized her. And what that got them, what that earned them was not much. They're very upset because they wanted to have the status of this magistrate. They wanted to have the Rainbow Covenant. They want to be the dignitary. They want to have control over what happens on the planet, who gets to come and who gets to go, and what is allowed and permitted, and how everybody has to think. They've been doing magic on everybody's minds to get them in this limited mindset, and then they control them with you must and you must not because you're a damn sinner and you're going to go to hell and I'm going to hurt ya if you don't. We got 5 of Swords in the reverse. So this is the end of a conflict. This could be the end of a conflict with the power of 3. Those shady dwellers that do magic on you. And the outcome is a 7 of Wands. You've standed up for yourself. You took the high road. You didn't follow these guys. They wanted you to be a damn sheep, but you're a freaking magistrate, a teacher of love. You're the one with the morals and the ethics and the ability to remain heart open, even though you keep getting knives and slit open by these freaking masculines and the 5D or whatever D they're in, doing their sacrificial lamb crap. On the bottom of the deck, we've got Justice. Justice. So so that's it. This magistrate is the justice. She knows the right and wrong. And here's the thing. She spent centuries being brutalized by these masculines, by these devils. And now God has resurrected her, lifted her up, and made her a dignitary and a planetary guardian. And now these guys are getting the shit kicked out of them because of everything they did. And it isn't her that's calling judgment on them. Vengeance isn't her. She suffered lifetimes. But God sees her, and God is moving through her with this justice. Why? because she has practice. She has really done the job. She's getting this new job because she is well aware of what's going on. She has control of her mind, her heart, her body. She's not a floozy. She's probably celibate. She's very highly ethical and moral. She's probably honest. Doesn't go around lying, trying to cheat and steal from people. She actually loves families and animals. She doesn't go around brutalizing people, expecting everybody to do as I say, and you better do it right now or you're going to go to hell and be sin forever. Blah, 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 blah. No, she's actually the proper one because she is the Ace of Pentacles, the star. The wealth comes from her. The mother of the earth. The mother of the earth is the magistrate, the planetary guardian, the teacher of love, she who keeps everybody on the right moral path. And you got this group of masculines, these cornholios out there pretending that they're religious, and they are pissed off at this magistrate. They don't want to do as she says because she knows that they're cornholios and they hurt people. They hurt people for profit. So the star has money coming because she has rejuvenated, and those who are bringing competition and chaos to her are getting a 5 of Pentacles because the truth is out here about the deceit, the trickery, the fraud. Why? Because of her strength. She was able to rise up out of impossibility and bring evidence, firsthand testimony, unaltered truth. And now these guys are trying to defend themselves. They're trying to play hero because death is upon them. Because divine feminine is here. Truth, swords raised. She knows what you've all done. All the mothers know what has been done here. So we've got this soulmate. There's a soulmate connection here. And somebody is in regret because they're having to manage all of their own stuff now. This magistrate isn't offering them any services. They tried to exterminate her family. They've been trafficking them as slaves, on planet, off planet, eating them, hurting them. There's a celebration. So there's a celebration. There's cause for celebration. Gonna probably have to make this one a little shorter because I gotta go to work a little later. Got all wound up. I didn't sleep at all last night. These guys were whining, bitching, and moaning and threatening. They were being so I am so tired of having my life threatened every night by a group of masculines. And all the various ways they're thinking about doing it. And it's not just my life, it's other people out there that they want to harvest. It's sick, man. And they want me to recognize God in them and then go to them for guidance. Oh, King of Cups. You feel like you've been abandoned, but there is a deeper connection coming. Lost. Hold on. We got to get some more information there. We got the Chariot. There's a challenge getting in that Chariot. Somebody has lost the King of Cups affection. He's very affectionate and compassionate. Somebody lost that. Okay, so we got the Chariot and dark side in the reverse. So we're moving away from the dark side. You left the dark side. You're leaving the dark side behind. The lost, perhaps. You're leaving the lost behind because they made life very difficult. So the King of Cups is here. He's here trying to give people the opportunity for understanding. But you've got people there. So the lost, those who were led astray down a path of incoherence, So the love of divine masculine is here speaking to the lost. Hey, this is the mother. She loves you, and that's what I heard. Grace loves you. The Holy Spirit, the mother, the nurturer, she loves you, and to hurt her is silly. So anyway, the love of divine masculine is speaking to those who are lost. He's challenged by leaving the dark side behind. Let's leave it behind, guys. Let's just move on, leave it behind. Why? Because it makes everything hard for people. It's been a real rough road. You must decide whether it's worth it to keep going. So the Queen of Cups is here. She's the mother figure. She's the nurturer. You got all these people in the dark side wanting to maintain their hold on her because they got to feed on it. If they don't feed on the Christed being, their bodies will decompose because they don't have a chakra system. And they got to control everybody that is a Christed being and a believer because they're the ones with the chakra system that they need to feed on. It's a trap. It's a loop. And then they get contracts, member contracts, and then they own that spiritual inheritance. It's a freaking scam. Queen of Cups is freaking tired. She's tired, emotionally exhausted from this crap. She deserves a break. You guys are in the dark. You're freaking, you're obsessive, compulsive, needy, greedy. You refuse to do your own work. You're dependent on the charity of the Queen of Cups, of the mother, and her status, and her gifts and her wealth, and you just want to take it and punish her because it is with her and you don't have it, and you don't want to do the inner work to add value to the soul, to pull your own ass up out of that. No, you just want to blame her and take her stuff. She's been in a 10 of Wands in the recent past. She's been heavily burdened by you, heavily burdened by your incessant need. All of you, man, on one woman, you're just pulling off of her. Poo. There's the wealth. There's the eternal youth. There's everything. Empty in the reverse. So even though she was in a 10 of Wands burden, heavily burdened, you could not empty her cup. You just couldn't empty it. And that's how you know she is the eternal freaking supply that you took a big old gamble with. You decided to try to destroy her and bury her and just have this eternal supply. This 9 of Cups, she's coming into a 9 of Cups. It's time for her wealth. You wanted her wealth. The cup was never empty. Even when she was heavily burdened by all of you pulling off of her and then putting all your shit onto her, transferring your sin with your little prayers in reverse or whatever the hell. So we got rabbit hole, crazy drama. There was a wealth of crazy drama. 10 of Wands, devil, dependent on your charity. They wanted you buried in this freaking drama forever, so that they could just pretend that they were the it and that you were nothing. They're grieving here. They're dependent on your charity, and they're grieving because it didn't work out the way that they had planned. They're very upset. We've got battle worn, a 9 of Wands. It's time for you to heal. They've got a very negative outlook, and they're reaching out for your love. And it's like, oh, please. You got the 5 of Swords in reverse. It's like end of conflict. It's like everything that you no longer need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. This conflict is ending. There's a winning of the fight. We've got the 3 of Pentacles here. There's teamwork. Could be some kind of teamwork. Let's see what's going on here. Nope. The power of 3 are drowning under what they did to you. They're falling away to make room for the love that you deserve because you're taking the high ground. It's like you took the high ground. They wanted to drag you down into this shadowy, this little box. And they wanted to put you in there. And they wanted you to do and perform and act exactly as they said you must, because this is the way. And if you don't, then guess what? They'll red rum you, just like they did her last time. They were quizzed about it last night. They took her life. Why? Because she wasn't religious. Why wasn't she religious? Because they're murderers. Pompous little hypocritical asses murdering people. They got graveyards in the backyard of their freaking church filled with children, and they want to sit there and act like her tattoos are a disqualifier. Please. You took the high ground. And this is ending. You've got the high ground. You're battle ready. You're standing up for yourself. 7 of Wands. And they're having anxiety because they neglected you and you escaped their neglect. They're having anxiety because you escaped their neglect. You earned a 9 of Cups when you were wrapped up in this crazy drama. Justice is being delivered. You worked very, very hard here. You've got the Ace of Pentacles. You are the star, which means they're the 5 of Pentacles. They didn't earn jack. They didn't do anything. Justice is being served on behalf of you, who earned all of that wealth and that position that these ones are now trying to red rum you for, to steal from you, because they're mad at God. This is a man's world, God. What are you doing? What are you doing? Freaking wacky jacks, man. Kept me up all freaking night with their little whiny mojo crap. I'm a little cranky. So the love of divine masculine, King of Cups, is here speaking with those who are lost, who got lost. They were led down a path of incoherence. They were manipulated in the mental. They were driven into this confused life path. Many of them, addictions, sexual promiscuity, stealing, or some other kind of unlawful thing, totally disrespecting self, but the thing is that they got these programs, these things that they were driving into people, like gluttony, like, I just want to sit in my house and not go anywhere because, people suck. And so I'm just going to eat because I feel really bad. And that's a program. And then they deceitfully convict people of that and then trap them so they can continue feeding on their suffering. It was a bad, bad thing that people got lost in, this twisted loop. So the love of divine masculine, King of Cups, is here talking to those who got lost along the way. He's challenged because he wants to get people in that chariot and leave the dark side behind. It's been a rough, rough road. Let's do this. Guardian. So he's wanting to protect those who are lost. He's having a conversation with the lost ones, maybe the lost boys. I've heard that phrase. And he's got guardians. So he may want to offer them protection. Get them in the chariot, leaving behind the dark side. Life has been a rough, rough road. You must decide whether it's worth it to keep going. Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So chariot, leave behind the dark side. Life has been very rough. You must decide whether it's worth it to keep going. And we've got air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Queen of Cups is very tired, emotionally exhausted from dealing with everything. And she deserves a break. Moving. So she's moving. So this could be, it's a change of residence. You might be moving in with your partner, like the King of Cups is coming by, picking her up with this chariot full of lost boys that are going to be offered protection, and we're going to go off and spend this 9 of Cups here. Even in the recent past, we've got 10 of Wands burden, but we've got empty in the reverse. They were unable to empty your cup. Even though you were heavily burdened by a whole posse of really low vibrational pretenders, you know, it's sad to me. It's really weird. I mean, when you got your eyes wide open, you can see that there's these folks out there saying they're of God, but for centuries, we've got this stuff happening to children. We've got the mothers being squashed and they have no rights. They have no voice. That does not make sense at all. In a world, if these men are representative of God the Father, there would be protection, not war. There would be safety, not gang RAP. The evidence is plain. So you got a 10 of Wands burden. They could not empty your cup. We've got honeymoon. So there could be a new, this King of Cups is coming for his Queen of Cups, it looks like. We got the 9 of Cups wealth. So there, you've earned a 9 of Cups by dealing with this crazy drama, this rabbit hole of crazy drama, by having your peace taken from you, stolen from you by this devil. Keeping you up all night. Divorce. You're divorcing that crazy drama. There is a divorce. You're leaving it behind. Hello, goodbye. There's a divorce. The devil is feeling trapped. They are dependent on your charity and they're grieving because it did not work out the way that they had imagined. They're feeling the loss. They're feeling the loss and they want to get you back. They're thinking of all these ways they can like harvest this woman and steal the planetary guide position, this justice. And you can see that justice is completely, I mean, the bad guy goes free and the guy who wasn't able to pay his taxes on his house gets booted out onto the street, lives in a tent, and then they make living in a tent illegal. I mean, come on. Move on. Move on. They're not able to move on. They're not able to move on. They're grieving. They're not able to move on. They're addicted to your generosity. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way they had imagined. They're not able to move on. This 9 of Wands, you're battle worn. You are tired. It's time for you to heal from this terrible mess, you know, and these guys are feeling real bad that you are going to heal now, and they don't like what they're got. They got like a what do they call that? Like it's in the cloud, like it's doesn't really exist. It's there. There's like one little cup there in the cloud, but they can't actually get to it or something. They're reaching for it, this dream, this love, and it's just not coming to them. It's just not coming to them. They can't move on. You got stuck in that crazy drama. You earned yourself a big reward. You're gonna share it with this King of Cups. Somebody who actually loves. Somebody who's actually capable of feeling something besides malice and a need to be seen as something they're not. Weird, you know, designer clothes and these fancy robes. It's all a show, man. It's all a show. Let's just get real. Bare bones. Let's see it. Narcissist. Narcissist is reaching for love, but love don't want to have nothing to do with this narcissist. Are you kidding me? You're too full of yourselves. And guess what? This is the end of that conflict. You're not dealing with that. It's like, no. Everything you no longer need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. It's in ruins. You deserve love. And these folks are, keeping you up all night with this talk of how they're going to harvest you. It's so disheartening hearing the man's voice, the father's voice, in all of its variations, speaking of a woman in such a way every night. It's so bad. You guys' reputation is shot because of these low-level, freaking low-life vampires. I really wish you well, man. You got your work cut out. So do we. I mean, the Divine Feminine, because we've had our reputation punched holes through it too. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So we got somebody, so you got making amends. Somebody wants to make amends. They want to end the conflict. Things are falling apart. To make room for the love that you deserve, somebody wants to make a confession. Why? Because luck isn't on their side. So now, because they're all out of luck, they want to do the right thing. They want to talk. We got teamwork. The power of three. This teamwork that's in this little underground little place there. They're going under. They're going under. They can't keep it afloat. They're whatever they're trying to create there or do there, it's not working. They're drowning under that. Then we got patience in the reverse. They could be out of patience. There's no more patience. God's out of patience. There's no patience. Nothing is going to come. Whatever they're doing there, it's not going to make it. It won't come. It won't manifest. Seven of Wands, you're battle ready and you're taking the high ground. This is ending. This is ending. It's over, man. With a water sign, could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Mercury retrograde. They gambled with you, and everything that they gambled with, it's going back. Like everything they did gambling with you, it's going back. Caution, there's challenges. There's caution here. Problems can occur with the health. They're doing things with the pet. We got give it time. Whatever they did with the pet, whatever they did with their pets, they're getting time. They're trying to do a love spell to get somebody pregnant, or maybe they did a love spell to get a pet pregnant. These entities, they look at human beings as though they're animals. And they impregnate them not to have a generational family tree, but to tap into the spiritual inheritance and the resources that are coming from that upper dimensional pool. You know, God has to step in. He's like, where's all my stuff? And where are all my angels? You know, you're saying to me that all of my angels got caught up in this addictive crap? Oh, just the ones that aren't religious. Just the ones that didn't do exactly as we said. Just the ones that didn't expand out and become one with the Mother Earth. The all that is. Well, the thing is that those ones who did expand, those ones who came to the realization that they are part of all that is, those ones who could reach out to the edges of the multiverse and be recognized, you know, these ones who wanted your wealth and your position, they're like, oh no, man, we got to get rid of you. You can't be heard out there in the galaxy. You know, thoughts, boom, there goes to the edges of the multiverse, you know. King of Cups is here, speaking with the lost. He wants to pick up the lost. He wants to get the lost, offer them protection, get them in that chariot there, and leave that dark side behind. It's been a very, very rough road. Yeah, Guardian. So this reflection, this copycat is feeling broken and shattered because the King of Cups is offering protection to the lost ones. And so this reflection, this shadow person is feeling broken and shattered because They're losing. Like, whoever was lost, they could have, the King of Cups is speaking to the lost. That's what I'm getting. They're lost out there in the forest, and he's offering them protection. And there's a feminine here who's feeling broken and shattered. She's very low vibrational, very low energy. It's like he's freeing the lost boys or something out of this forest. He's getting them into his chariot. They're leaving the dark side behind. Life has been very, very hard for them. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It could be that he's having a challenge. You know, I don't know. Let's get more information. Reunion. Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, reunited. So life has been very, very hard for you. And this King of Cups. The King of Cups might be the air sign. His challenge is to get these lost boys into that chariot and leave that dark side behind. His challenge is as an air sign, or is to reunite with an air sign. Queen of Cups is right here, tired, emotionally exhausted, deserving a break, moving. Now this could be, oh, it's time for a move. We're moving. It's time, and nobody can do anything about it. No matter how many nights they keep you up all night, speaking this vile words all freaking night. So, 10 of Wands burden. You were under a very heavy burden, but your cup never came empty. They could not empty your cup. And so you've got this honeymoon phase. You get a new beginning. There's a connection that has been mended here. This reunited, this reunion. So we've got the Nine of Cups, life of luxury. You got lots of love going on. It's very heartfelt. You've earned this reward by facing this crazy drama, by going through all of this crap that brought you to this point. You're experiencing a breakup right now with that Devil. Yeah, a divorce. They cannot get into your space. There's space between you and that Devil. They put you in that crazy drama, and it's over. It's over. Devil is, they're very upset. They're feeling trapped. They're codependent on your charity, your Six of Pentacles. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way that they had imagined. They're not able to move on. They're not able to move on because they've got habitual patterns that they have not been able to change. They weren't able to change their habitual patterns of hurting people and stuffing them into the dark side. They were bringing balance to their shadow by consuming the light energy of humans. So they weren't actually doing the shadow work. They were just feeding on the happiness of others to bring in that balance. And so they were misusing people and relationships. So it's time to heal because there's so many of them out there all feeding. I mean, there's multiple people feeding on one person. It's crazy. You know, big light energy has multiple unseen entities feeding. Especially if you're not aware and you don't know that magic is real and you don't know that they actually do this and you're just sick and tired all the time and you don't understand why. It's because you're a bright star and you're under attack. They're feeding on you. So you got the Nine of Wands. It's time to heal from this crap. These guys aren't getting nothing. It was a freaking dream. They're reaching out, trying to connect with you, but love is eluding the narcissist. They're just too full of themselves. Nobody wants to deal with that. Escape. Narcissist wants to escape. So they're reaching out, trying to connect, but love is eluding them. This is the narcissist that's too full of themselves and who left when things got hard. So the narcissist can't handle pressure. They can't manage themselves in the face of a strong woman. This Devil. So they're standing, got an attitude, you're not religious, you're not doing what I tell you to do, I'm going to take your life. And that's what they did, and that's what they do, and that's what they call men of God and planetary guidance, folks. Oh yes, it's the best. Certainly God gave them the rainbow covenant, of course, they're the nurturer. They want to make amends. Maybe you won the fight. Things you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love you deserve. Somebody wants to tell you something. Luck is not on their side. They're out of luck. Out of luck, out of luck, out of luck, out of time. Because you're moving time. You could be the goddess of time or the god of time. You're moving time. There are limitless numbers of universes, and it could be there are limitless numbers of timelines. It could be that you are in charge of the time loops that these ones will ride upon. Take it as it resonates. So somebody wants to confess. We've got unsatisfied. Luck is not on their side. They're out of luck. They weren't happy with the way things are going. They're not happy with the way things are going. They're very unsatisfied. They're falling away to make room for the love you deserve because they're just an endless, needless feeder, and they leave nothing behind except death energy, black energy. You should loathe yourself, woman. And then if you don't, they'll defile you and degrade you and hurt you and vilify you, just until you feel so shitty about yourself, you'll have to agree with them. And it's sick, They like to download all that devilish energy into a pure star and then laugh as they suffer, trying to transmute it. So the Three of Pentacles, the power of three, are drowning. They're going under. They're going under. Whatever they were trying to manifest is not going to happen. We've got patience. It could be that you're out of patience. They're going under. You're out of patience. This is responsibilities. I have to take care of my financial and emotional needs. You're out of patience. You want these responsibilities. You've got to take care of your financial and emotional needs. You got to get this power of three crap, narcissistic, brutalizing devil out of your energy. Seven of Wands, taking the high ground, but you're standing up for yourself, and this is ending. This is ending. There could be a water sign here. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, egotistical, prideful person, all up in your space. You're taking the high road. You're like, woman, get out of my energy. You're holding back. They're feeling your absence. It's like, oh crap, because you're involved in this commitment. It's reciprocal. Both of you love yourselves. So your cup is full. King of Cups, Queen of Cups. You're able to fulfill your own cup. And when you're pouring into each other, it's reciprocal. It's easy. It's good. It's fulfilling. Neither of you will ever be depleted. So this is a good match. And then you've got these people who were hurting you, this devil who were using you, taking everything from you, leaving you alone, hurting you, laughing, joking, telling lies, getting all their friends to throw shit-ass energy onto you. Excuse my language. I have been up all night and I'm cranky. So they were laughing. But now they're running because the truth is out about it. Yeah, they're not very nice. They missed their opportunity with this passion project, and nobody wants that. Nastiness. Somebody wants to have a conversation. There's unfinished business regarding soul contracts. Somebody is confused over these soul ties in the new chapter and the destiny of the third party enemy, because you have an understanding of this regarding their unappreciation, their dishonesty, and their guilt regarding hurting others for profit. Unexpected outcome. They're overwhelmed by the gossip. Everybody's talking about them chasing after your dream. They want your forgiveness for causing all this damage. They're really feeling it. They got detached from you. And they're stuck with these shadowy secrets. They got detached from you because of these shadowy secrets. They made mistakes. And you're irreplaceable. They made mistakes. You're irreplaceable. They can never replace you. They are indecisive. Their values were all about money. They're in regret regarding neglecting you, because now you find them unworthy of your presence, of your services, of your care, of your energy, of your time. They sabotage their own selves because they were not able to separate you from the love that you continue to hope for. And it's here. King of Cups is right here with the Queen of Cups. They've got their chariot, and they're trying to get these lost ones, the lost souls, the ones that got kind of misled into that chariot. Somebody, this shadowy figure is broken and shattered because this King of Cups, he's offering protection to the lost ones. Right? Loving protection. And whoever this is, this shadowy person, they're feeling broken and shattered because I think they were feeding on them. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here because I got to get myself ready for the day. I hope that this clarifies something that you already intuitively knew. My apologies for being a little... maybe over the top. I don't know. I'm just feeling a little agitated because I didn't sleep at all, hardly last night, because these guys were up, scheming and scamming about horrible ways they were going to deal with this magistrate. This world is full of devils. They wear a man suit. They present themselves as fathers, brothers, religious guides, friends, lovers. And the thing of it is, there's no protection. There's no protection. They call war protection, but all it is bloodletting and a ritual. It's not real. Protection is when the father is in the home and those children and that wife are safe. And they're treated kindly, and they're given everything they need, and their neighborhoods are safe, and the community is respectful. When you go to war in another country and you perish, what happens to the woman and the child? They're at the mercy, man, of some devil who's going to come in and say, "Oh, look at all you got there. I see you got a house there. Yeah, I see you got this. What did you get there? What happened when your husband died? Did you get some cash? Oh yeah, let me get on that." And then they come in and they just tap that. And it's stupid. I don't like this cycle. I don't like this cycle that families have been forced into. It's ridiculous. And I can't recognize an authority that thinks this is a responsible program for the planet. Just doesn't make sense to me. Anyhow, I wish you a beautiful day. I am going to have extra caffeine, and I might stop and get myself a pastry on the way to work. Lighten up the day. Take care, everybody. I'll see you eventually. Bye.